Steve? Wow. These are state of the art. Nobody's making anything like this.
Apple Incorporated went public this morning.
Chasing dreams since I was 14. Y'all can't stop me.
We gotta make the small things unforgettable.
10 years after Steve Jobs' departure, the future of Apple Computer is in jeopardy.
We're gonna make Apple cool again. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Hi, today we will learn about Steve Jobs. Have you seen people use these laptops, MacBook? These phones, iPhones? These music devices, iPods? These tablets, iPads? Have you seen this symbol before? Which company is that? It is Apple. Apple is the world's most favorite company. More than 80% of the people prefer using their products. Have you watched animated movies such as The Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Cars? Do you know which company makes this animation? It is called Pixar. The creative entrepreneur, person who starts a business on his own, who started both these powerful companies, is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is regarded as an ultimate icon, very famous and respected, who had deep passion for perfection and an intense, great drive to combine creativity with technology. He was neither an engineer nor a designer. In fact, he was a college dropout. Then, how did he achieve all this? Through his curiosity. Let us learn about the life of Steve Jobs through a famous speech he once gave to young students such as you. Emphasizing the importance of curiosity, he said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish. Always be hungry to explore new things, pursue things that others might call foolish." He was born in 1955 in California, USA. As a student going to one of the finest colleges, Steve dropped out. People said it was foolish of him to do so, but he quit school because he was curious to learn other things that were not taught in his curriculum. He had no money for food or place to sleep. Instead of being worried, he just followed his curiosity. He would walk 7 kilometers every Sunday to get a good meal at the nearby ISKCON temple. In his college, he had seen boards written in beautiful calligraphy handwriting. He was very curious to learn this. So he attended the calligraphy class just to learn more about this, even though this did not help him much back then. 10 years later, this knowledge was helpful in designing his Mac computer. This was the first computer to have a beautiful calligraphy writing style. Steve loved electronics, subject that deals with electric circuits. He was so curious that he would use his creativity to invent new designs. At the age of 20, he and his friend Steve Wozniak started a company called Apple in his parents' garage. Within the next 20 years, Apple became a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. It so happened that he was fired from his own company, but instead of feeling bad or angry, he just became even more curious. He created the world's first computer animated movie through Pixar. Because he loved what he did and was curious to explore more, he was called back to lead Apple. However, Steve got sick and was diagnosed with cancer. Knowing that he had about 6 months to live, what do you think he did? Do you think he quit and sat at home feeling sad? No, he continued to do what he always loved to do. He died in October 2011. Ask yourself, if today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you are about to do today?
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle.
Based on what we just learned, let us now try to answer some questions. What was Steve Jobs' profession? Where is Steve Jobs from? How did he start Apple? Use the words icon and intense in a sentence. Taking inspiration from Steve Jobs, write down what it means for you to stay hungry and stay foolish.